No. There's no normal. Oh wait, no, there it is. So, Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is one of my favorite Marvel heroes. Obviously, I will say there are a couple that I do prefer. Not prefer, but a couple that I would say are in the same league of like more modern heroes that I would say are some of the best. Do I like some of the traditional Captain America, Spider Man? Yes. Fully admit that. But some of the heroes I just find cool. Some of them, not enough to know about them. Like Miss Marvel, I specifically went into the back of this and like, oh yeah, which ones are the ones I need to watch and in what order. Like I have got, I don't have three. Do I have Crashed? I think I have Crashed, which is number three. But I have up to Lost Days. I don't have Super Famous. I don't have Civil War 2. Actually, I do have Civil War 2. Anyway. And I definitely don't have any on this side. But this is one that I wanted to start reading a lot of. And I essentially picked up this one because supposedly this is the first one. And this is the best writing of Miss Marvel. And I like this because it was meant to like be a part of the face. And I know that was a huge social thing of like putting it with the face, which I know was clever. And yeah, here's the thing. I said this in one of the series that I reviewed recently, which is sort of the uh, Agents of Shield. But one of the things which I don't know is becoming into the film universe is essentially Inhumans, because they have been a thing, having a TV series and having a couple animated appearances in Marvel TV programming, but not in the MCU. Oh, yeah. There has been one though, which is Agents of Shields, with knowing the fact of WandaVision, where this big tome of magical books in it is different. That would be different. And I talked about in that how I love I'm including this in spoiler section, but this sort of brings it up. That the sort of like one of the things that they have is Inhumans. It's a major thing. Some of the major characters are Inhumans, and it impacts a lot of people in a lot of different ways. Definitely, I think season one less so. Season two, definitely, and I haven't reviewed season three, so I'm not going to bring that up quite yet. But Miss Marvel, the TV series, not TV, actually, yeah, TV series and movie, which is The Marvels, doesn't. She is a mutant. And I know in the future comics, I don't know if it's any of these, she sort of becomes a mutant through a system that can bring people back from the dead. Yeah, sometimes I say stuff which I know is a part of comics and I know is part of a law, and I get confused because I have not read that part of the comics, but I know it's a thing. So if I sound unsure, it's because I know it's a thing, but I don't know how it's a thing. But I'm just accepting it. I know it's a thing because I know a couple of X-Men are brought back through it. I know it's a whole thing through the other one, my favorite, which I like. Two of my favorite heroes are Gwen's, which is Gwenpool and Spider Gwen. Uh, which I would say Spider Gwen is one of my favorites out of the three. I know there's two versions. There's one that has this sort of like white outfits, and there's one where instead of Spider Man sort of like catching her with the web, he sort of goes down and grabs her and sort of puts him between her and the ground, and he dies. And it's a really interesting idea, and it's a fun concept. And then afterwards, and the last one, which is my one of my personal favorites, which is Miles Morales. I love him as a character. Definitely in some of his appearance, definitely in Into the Spider Verse, and definitely the movie that's coming out this year is one I'm excited for. But Miss Marvel, with all of that being said, all of the things are coming back. She is an Inhuman. That is a major point of this, which is essentially one of the things that happens in this, is this does, because mutants can basically happen, this doesn't affect Miss Marvel too much, but more specifically a couple of the villains. But this affects basically, there was a mist, which is the Terrigen Mist, that basically goes over the planet, at least in this one. Or at least, I don't know if it does. I know it affects everyone in New York. And if they're, unlike the one in Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., if you're not an Inhuman, you don't die. But you basically get encased in this sort of thing. And then in the show, they just basically turn into somewhat of a statue. And then the sort of like the shelling sort of breaks off them. In this, they sort of like cocoon. And it's sort of like that idea alongside sort of like trying to live up, believing that she has to be something to be a hero, is something I think is really amazing. Because I know there's a lot of like things that she is trying to prove that she doesn't need to be because of what she is. But I don't think it's my place to talk about some things because. But on the more stuff I can talk about, I do like her sort of like group of friends that sort of support her, bring her up in this fun way, and come together. And I think is absolutely exciting. I want to see more of this character because she is amazing. I loved the version in the TV show. Yes, there's the home use thing, but not really gonna worry about that. And also, yes, there is a change of the power, which is more specifically, she is more like creating crystalline versions of her body. I don't know if it's going to change to more of this version. I don't think so. I think realistically, she's going to remain that she can create these crystalline structures, including crystalline bases. I feel like that will be a thing that she can do. I know one of the things that she can do in this is sort of shapeshift. I don't know if that's going to be brought over. I feel like you could make a thing of like if she does something with like this like crystalline structures she can do, she could do that, which could be interesting, but also at the same time, not really. It's just being like, here's stuff that she can do in this. And I'm like, she could just not. Because the power she does have still look cool, and I'm fine with it. It's different, but a fun type of different. So yeah. So yeah. I absolutely love this. It is amazing. It is fun to read. It is just insane. Again, it's one of my favorite characters in sort of like comic world that I absolutely want to like read. There's a couple of others. I think I've done the same thing with one of the ones I said before, which is sort of like Gwenpool, which I've got a lot of her editions of. But I don't read much, so I didn't really get much. And this is mostly me just like occasionally just getting stuff on Amazon and just this and that. And that's the whole thing that I did. Doesn't really matter now. This is, I think, insane and just amazing to read. And I love it. I absolutely recommend you to read this because this is 100% amazing to read. Definitely which one thing I haven't mentioned, the artwork, definitely when you become to like the mist and how the elastic works is so cool. But yeah. And yes, Ryan Trahand, season 8. This is the last one because there's no other ones. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. I hope you like this video, these two videos in this one day. But yeah, I hope you enjoy and good night.